here. I'm Ariel Schmidt, and this is Katie Garber, and we are excited to introduce ourselves today and pretty much let you guys meet your retreat leaders for our upcoming Inner Journey retreat to Oaxaca, Mexico in August. So Katie's going to introduce herself a little bit and tell you about her background and how she's going to help facilitate the retreat, and then I'll go and introduce myself.
Right. So as Ariel said, I am Katie Garber. I do Akashic record readings. I also teach people how to read the Akashic records. I do a lot of intuitive coaching, channeling work, as well as some in-person work too of quantum energy healing as well at Tranquility Rising. So I am super excited to join Ariel in creating this beautiful container for the retreat that we are headed to Oaxaca, and to just bring my energy work to this, my love of travel and really experiencing culture and tapping into ancient healing techniques of Oaxaca, where we're headed to.
Yes. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm Arielle Schmidt. I am owner of Tranquility Rising, and we are here in Cincinnati for those of you who are seeing this outside of our little bubble here. I am a Thai yoga therapy practitioner, and I go much more in depth than a traditional Thai massage therapist. We go through the coaching aspect of really connecting the mind and body, which is why I love working with Katie, because sometimes we get into blocks that really can't be connected the dots. And so Katie is able to work in the Akashic records to kind of weave our practices together, which is really beautiful. I have loved working with Katie for this upcoming retreat. This is the first retreat we're doing together, and it has been so much fun planning Oaxaca because we are both travel ADHD, love everything and want to do everything. So we're going to talk a little bit about our schedule and why we chose the things we're doing for this specific trip. The theme of this trip, and Katie actually is the one that kind of brought this theme about, this inner connection, especially as we kind of come out of the isolation that COVID put us in, and really reconnect not only with ourselves, but in this community aspect of holding the container for healing. Katie, you want to bring anything else into that a little?
Yeah, no, I think that's a main thing. Like I've seen in my private client readings, just so much a feeling of lack of connection, but that's like self and then to people around. So I can already feel the group forming energetically that is going to be there together, just to be able to it's different when you have connections where you're being held in a container in a group with other people while you do your own internal work, plus being able to connect them. So it's kind of like a spiritual connection, making new friends, soul family connection. And then also in the space that we chose was very meaningful to connect into the land, the energy, the beautiful home that we chose. So it was all very thoughtful, very mindful of being able to just foster the most ease in connecting to yourself and coming into yourself, and then bridging that connection outwards to the people that we're with.
For sure. I really personally love a container like this, the soul family, that we never know who's coming into these retreat spaces, but we know that whoever said yes there's a reason behind that yes. And so the container that's held is so much more beautiful because it's the souls, the light within us reaching out and connecting with everyone else that was drawn to this space.
Yeah, no, it's always magical how those form, and see the connections and people that are feeling similarly to you or going through similar situations to you, or just people that just get you, and there's that ease and understanding, which always feels wonderful.
Yes, it is magical to see. I just came back from our Guatemala retreat and it was so fun to watch everybody interact. It was like they had met in a past life and everybody just flowed so seamlessly together. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we have planned for you guys, because it really took a lot of work to whittle down the experiences so you guys weren't overwhelmed, because there's so many amazing things to do in Oaxaca. So on the first day that you arrive, we again are staying in this beautiful house with pool and amazing kitchen space, and just, it's almost like your own little retreat center. So why leave? So that is why on the first night, we actually have a local chef from Oaxaca who's going to come in and cook us dinner and kind of give a little cooking demo so you can get rested after your day of travel. And then right away the next day, we're going to hit the markets, get you accustomed to like where you're going to be staying and what's around us, and kind of do this walking tour with a local guide through 4 of the major markets that Oaxaca has. The markets are so different. Like there's a handicraft market and a meat market and like the everything market, Trader Joe type thing. And then we have like the outdoor market, which is usually has like live music and dancing and just really fun to hang out with. And then Katie found this wonderful group for our Temazcal ceremony. And if you guys don't know what the Temazcal ceremony, it is, I always say it's like a pizza oven for people. But it's like a low heat, and I want to say low heat. It's not like the traditional like Native American sweat lodges that can get really, really hot. It's going to be a low heat sweat lodge that people use as like therapeutic and meditative purposes. So anywhere from like severe medical issues to assisting with childbirth to just cleansing. And so we really wanted to do that kind of first day with you guys to kind of set the intention for where we're headed. And Katie can talk a little bit more about that inner journey work that we're going to be doing. So maybe this is a good time to talk about that.
Yeah. And with the Temazcal, they use very specific herbs for healing too, and we're going to be guided on all of that. And we'll get to go as a group. It was a little bit tricky to find a place that we could all go at the same time, so I'm really happy that we found one that we can do this experience as a group. Yes, but as far as the first day of just coming into like releasing anything that you're bringing with you into the retreat space that you don't need to. So maybe you have a lot of thoughts about work or family, or just not really fully focused on you, not fully present. This is to help us to get really present, to release those things that we don't need to bring with us over the transformation of the next 3 days as well. So it's really about just coming into your center, being able to release, really coming into your body too. That's a huge thing as well, because so many people like we're in our minds so often, and to just have that space where it's like you're just receiving healing, we're being led through this ceremony and this ritual, and then just being able to come into your body and get really grounded in that space too.
Yeah. I personally have not done a Temazcal steam yet. I've done a Native American sweat lodge, and I've had the opportunity to do the Temazcal, but for some reason, intuitively, I knew that I really wanted to do my first Temazcal with our group. So I chose not to do it in our Guatemala retreat space. Just so I could experience the same thing with you guys for the very first time. So it's really exciting. So let's see, what else do we have? So we have the private chef, we have our walking tour through the markets, our Temazcal steam bath, and then the bead weavers are coming in from the coast of Oaxaca. So Oaxaca is this giant state. You can think of it as like the states of the US. So they're actually coming to us from the coast, which is a 6-hour drive for them. So this is really, really special that they're coming in for us specifically, because there's no way we could have done this otherwise. So we have the opportunity to do bead weaving on a little loom, and I'll put a picture here above us, and weave your intention into the bracelet. So whatever it is that you want, it's kind of like our mala workshop, if you've ever been a part of that, where we infuse prayer and intention behind that knot that we create with the malas. So it's the same idea with the bead weaving. And in Oaxaca specifically, and I'm sure all over the place, but when I was there last, they talked about the different patterns in the weaving of like the rugs and the textiles. And so it's the same as the bead weaving. Each pattern represents something else that's meaningful. And so you can use a pattern, which is totally fine, or you can make your own. But a lot of times the patterns are symbols of wealth, or used as ceremony, or used as like heart space or prayer for an individual, or celebrations, or whatever it is that you want. So that's really, really exciting. And Katie just told me that you can actually purchase the loom to take with you if you really love the activity. So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, and along with that, we can talk about different meanings of color and representation of color too, to go along with what you're choosing. So it can be this is a really intentional, creative aspect, and to have like a physical representation of your intention, of your prayer, of what you're wanting to carry on with you. And so then even after we leave, you can wear the bracelet forever, but that can be a way that that intention is, a visual, physical reminder of your intention, of what you're working on, what you want to call into your life, what you want to feel more of. So we will be leading you throughout all of that while learning from a beautifully talented artist that's going to share his craft with us.
Yes. I totally forgot about the color because I was so excited about the different patterns. But yeah, the endless amount of color options, from like clear beads to like the metallic to anything and everything, it gets a little overwhelming. So I am very thankful that we have a guide, a professional artist, to kind of help us keep things a little bit simple sometimes. So after our bead weaving, because it can take a very lengthy time, we'll have lunch and everything there at the house. And our last scheduled, I put that in quotes because it's last scheduled thing that's included in the retreat, is this self photo shoot. I can't remember what we called it. Katie, do you remember?
The true self ceremony.
There we go. I was like, the true self ceremony. So if you have ever taken your photo at the beginning of something and then at the end of something, you will see shifts in not only how you hold yourself, but honestly, like the weight in your face can shift. And so the very last day that we're together, we will be doing a true self ceremony photo shoot. So Katie will be leading a ceremony, or myself. We don't know yet. It's kind of whatever spirit tells us. But we'll be leading you through this kind of like final inner journey work before we get to work with my favorite photographer of all time that I've ever worked with. I don't work with a lot of people, but I just love his energy. He did my photo shoot the last time I was there, and he's just really genuine and funny and just makes you feel so comfortable in your own skin. And I know Katie has had that same experience with a photographer she's worked with, and it's needed.
Yes. Yeah. And along with this is Ariel knows this, that I've shared before. Like, for some people, I'm sure some will be able to resonate with this, that you don't necessarily like your photo to get taken, and it's like a fear of being fully seen. And so that's what we'll be stepping into, is comfortable being fully seen for the light that we are, for our truth, for who we are, being comfortable in our body, and really just allowing us to radiate that, and then allow it to be captured for us to have that to come look back at too, to realize the journey you've been through, and to really just be able to share yourself authentically, that can be captured in this way. And so that's what's also really lovely about the group coming together for those people that maybe don't like getting their photo taken, which I'm one of them. But to really, yeah, really come into like that we can hold each other in this space and to allow ourselves to be fully seen. That helps anchor in that ability to then share our light and our true self with anyone we interact with.
Yeah. I have my photos that I did with Juan the last time. And I just remember feeling kind of ridiculous and uncomfortable because I'm walking through the streets of Oaxaca, taking photos and like not having a lot of direction. But he was so fine with that. He's just like, just do whatever, what makes you happy. And like, I started doing these like crazy, like, what about this? And what about this? And some of those photos, they look horrible. I will never publish them. And like the other photos where I'm really not trying that hard, where he just captured me in the midst of a transition or something, are just gorgeous. And like that's the best part. Like if you're surrounded by people that you have shared, you know, your life story with over these last 5 days, like the photo shoot's not even going to feel like a photo shoot because you're just laughing and having fun and just like being you. Really, that's all it comes down to, is just showing up fully as you.
Yes, perfect. And along with that we'll be offering evening circles for everyone to come together just to process what you want to process for the day and have people hold you and hear you, but we'll also be leading through any healings that come up for the group, any activations, any meditations to bring in new energies or new aspects of you. So that we're going to guide you through all of the shifts and processes that are happening for you in this time too, that you'll be held and the group will get to meet up to share in that container too.
Yes. Yeah. I'm really excited for that grounding place because when we move through all of these different activities and like we feel like we're just go, it's really nice to like slow down, reconnect, and have that moment of processing. And know that, you know, all of these activities that we're talking about, everything is optional. So just be aware if you are here sitting like with the Te Mezcal or the photo shoot and it just does not feel good for you, perfectly fine. Let's schedule you something else. Let's show you where you can go. You can hang in the house. Like this retreat is not to force you out of your comfort zone to the point where you're uncomfortable. It's to kind of push you into that space of being held. So it's okay to be uncomfortable, but we're never going to force you to do something you don't want to do.
Yeah, great point. And there is built-in time for relaxation every day too. So your free time. So that is, we try to create a balance of you know, those things that can help people shift and explore. And really adventure was something that we wanted to bring to this too, to just have fun and a new adventure. But there's also that time. And right, if you need to just like sleep all day, you can sleep all day. Like we'll hold you in that space. We'll love you in that space. There's no pressure. There's no expectation. We're here to support you.
Yes, very much so. And so during your free time, we can talk a little bit about some of the options that we can set up for you. The best part of, you know, coming on a retreat is so that you literally never have to think of what's next. So you'll be receiving all kinds of communication from us, you know, from the time you sign up to like the weeks leading up. Plus we have a community forum for you set up that already has the start package, pretty much like, congratulations, you've registered. Here's the flight we recommend. Here's how to fill out your travel itinerary. So me and Katie know what's going on when you're arriving, you know, if we have to track your flight, introduce yourself page so you know who else is going to be there. And like the forum is just going to grow and grow and grow. So just know that that's already in place for you guys to feel safe and held already. And then the extra experiences during free time, there can be work with Katie one-on-one for any healing that you want to go more in depth with. I'm personally taking time off from offering Thai services because it takes a really long chunk of your day. However, we can schedule you with a Thai practitioner that's right next door to us in Oaxaca. I have personally been to him and he's really amazing. So you can still get Thai. And he's really cheap. He's $30 for like 90 minutes. So yes, you might feel a little disappointed potentially not having me to take you deeper into the meridians, but you can still have the body work, which is just as powerful. You can get traditional massages, like the hot stone massages. They actually do an herbal steam, like a mini herbal steam. So if you really like the Tay Mezcal, you can have an additional. There's a facial person that I really enjoy working with. She actually like fixed my skin a couple months or last August when I was there. And then if you really want to be adventurous, we can set up someone to take you on a hike or to see the ruins or a bike tour or pretty much anything and everything you can think of. So we will be sending those options out to you. It'll be in the group forum. So like I said, everything that you need is going to be there at your fingertips, because I used to be an anxious traveler and I still kind of am. And so I treat you guys the exact same way as I would like to be held in the container. And I think Katie's the same way.
Yes. And we've both traveled. I mean, solo travel is like when you're having to figure everything out. So we want to do that work for you, just so you can feel like it just feels easy for you. Like that we want you to feel held and supported and at ease the whole time. And that will be our goal throughout all of it.
Yes. And I think we have a pretty good handle on that. Like I said, I just came back from Guatemala, and that was literally the feedback that I got. They were so impressed with the communication, the emails, the group forum, here's your printed itinerary, have at it and just go. Like, I think someone literally said, I have never just fully shown up and checked out. And it felt so good.
Yeah, exactly. And the goal where you can just focus on you, because everyone's coming from places where you have to worry about friends or family, or worry about your kids, or worry about your pets. And to have this time that you don't have to worry about anything, you get to just focus on you, and to really just relax and let go. Because in that state is also just when your body can do the most natural healing on its own without any efforting, is just when you're really relaxed and focused on you and wanting to just have fun and flow.
Yeah. So if you guys still have more questions or really want to see the detailed explanation of our possible itinerary, room options, all of that stuff, you can head to tranquilityrising.com or katie-garber.com. Is that correct? And they'll be listed right below us here. So feel free to peruse those, send us messages, comment below the video. And once you are registered for the retreat, then that's when you get access to the private retreat forum. Again, we are holding the container for 8 to 10 people specifically. This is not to just have everybody kind of looking in on us. So this is where we already start to have those conversations and feel safe to kind of be seen, because not the entire internet can get in on that group. It's just those of us who are registered for this specific retreat. Wonderful. All right. Well, we are excited to see you guys, whoever is called to join us. We can't wait to meet you, reconnect with you possibly. And we will see you in Oaxaca, August 4th through the 7th of 2022.
Perfect.
Wonderful. All right. See you guys later.